But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
Welcome to Pixel Pizza,
Did she say pizza?
your ultimate source for chiptunes, video game talk, and pepperoni. Delivered to you from Los Angeles and into the digital cyberspace of the 2020s.
Pizza power!
That's right, when super giant pizza.
I want a large, thick crust with double cheese, ham, pepperoni. Hey, where's my pizza? Pizza time.
Welcome back to the Pixel Pizza Podcast, listeners. You just heard from our chiptune artist of the week, Baychimo, and that track was called Soul Reader. So hope you liked that one. And now we are here with our game industry interview guest for the week. He is a chief entertainment officer and FunStack developer behind the recent demo release of Final Sentence, the typing battle royale horror game, as well as the upcoming Dicewood. This is Dmitry Minsky. How are you doing, Dmitry?
Good, I'm doing good. Thank you, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Me also. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. I'm really interested. How did you find my humble person for this podcast? Because I check your guest list on this podcast, and it's so huge names and
Thank you. No, I think I had seen Final Sentence in some sort of game showcase. I don't remember exactly which one it was. Maybe it was like the Triple I or something like that. But I usually, when I'm looking for interesting games, I'll look for, Summer Game or different uh, indie game showcases that happen. And yeah, and that one, Final Sentence just really stuck out to me because I love anything with typing. I love testing my typing skills, and this was such a cool, unique way of doing it I had never seen before. So, yeah, I wanted to reach out.
oh, um, I'm glad to hear that because it's exactly the whole idea behind this project. It was aimed for to people who like to type, who like to probably compete with their friends.
Hmm.
Like, hey, here's my WPM. Can you beat me? And something like that. And I didn't expect that there's so many people who actually like this premise of the game, because
Yeah,
it's supposed to be small little game about typing, super niche, and like basically all the games about typing.
right. Now, I'm the kind of crazy person who, when I'm just out and not even at my keyboard, if I'm just thinking in my head, I'll like mimic typing on a keyboard with my fingers.
Well,
So I remember. So, Dimitri, I have to ask, when in your life did you know you wanted to work in games?
I don't know how uh, in line with most of game developers this will be, because I I I listen a lot of interviews of other people and read a lot of books, and obviously when you're inside the industry, you interested in the names in this industry for other people,
Mm,
and it's always like, oh, from 4 years old or 6 years old, I was so crazy about video games, and I imagine how I gonna make my own games, and so on. For me, it's almost random encounter, I would
mm.
say. Yes, I get crazy about games from young age. Like, we didn't have a computer or console back in home when I was young, back in 90, 90, I don't know, 4, 5, something like that. But my mother bring me to her job, and I supposed to sit with the security guy during her working hours, and the security guy have a computer, an actual PC, and again, I suppose most of the security guys, at least back then, all you have to do is just sit in front of some kind of screen or bunch of screens
Yeah.
and do nothing. Uh, but because it's a real PC and it can run games, so I spent many days of my young age in this security guide booth playing Doom and Wolfenstein.
Oh,
And yeah, it was my first meet with video games. But back then, probably I was too young or too stupid just to even conceptualize the whole concept that you could complete the game or beat the game or finish the game was something not understandable to me. Back then, games is just the process that you're doing, and that's it. You're just walking around, you just shoot some monsters, and that's video games. There is no such thing like a storyline or any kind of progression. You're just playing around, more like more like a toy than a video game. So that was first time when I like basically see a video game in my life. After that, my parents bought me basically it's Famicom or NES, but in our country it was kind of how would you say?
Right.
It's a
Yes, I heard about
fake
this.
version.
Yeah. It was like you had
Yes.
a special version
Yeah.
get
And
around the copyrights.
it was on a national level. It was official company somewhere in the middle of Russia who bought this Chinese version of Famicom and not reselling them or reselling them under their own brand. But in the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it was 8-bit home console where I spent so many evenings with my friends. And even though I still didn't understand this concept of video games, and also at the same time, the games is just a thing that just exists. There is no such thing like making video games. From my perspective, it's not possible to develop video games. They just, I don't know, they came from gods and we just have them.
They just showed up one day.
So, something like that. But at the same time, about the same age, I definitely get into computers. And still to this very moment, I'm into computers, into programming, into more technical side of this craft. And so from 6th grade, I realized that I wanna do any kind of job which related to computers, and I even read this in local newspapers about different universities and a few like hacker books, and already then I know that MIT is definitely #1 university, which I definitely need to I'm gonna study there. But when I check the price for the one semester, it's like probably few years average salary back in my home country. Okay, okay,
wow.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to MIT. But in the end of the day, I go to the university in my home country, in the best technical university, I believe. And so from 6th grade, I know that I'm gonna do some kind of programming or some kind of technical stuff. But it wasn't related to video games. It was just like programming stuff. And somewhere around the 2nd university year, a friend of mine pushed me to the conference in another city, which also didn't relate to video games at all. It's just like, we call them IT conferences, even though it's more about, it's still about programming and stuff. And on this conference, there was one guy who moved to my home country to open a company, to open like a local branch of a company called Nival or Nival. after like almost 20 years, I don't know how to actually pronounce this. Yeah, because in Russian it's Nival. But what does it mean? Sometimes I'm trying to figure out what the hell what this is supposed to mean. It's some kind of flower which grows under the snow, or it's somehow related to navy. I don't know. Anyhow,
Nobody, anybody at the company know?
I mean, it seems like, oh yeah, Nival, yeah. And no one would like to ask, or probably everyone except besides me know. I have no idea. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, the company is probably most famous for the work on Heroes of Might and Magic 5 for Ubisoft. And before that, they released their own titles like Blitzkrieg, Silent Storm, more like RTS and tactical kind of games. And it was PC games, and it was back in a time where people developed their own engine and whole tech setup and everything. And it was long before the Steam was a thing. So it was kind of huge thing back then. And they opened local branch in my city, and like, probably I should try it. Developing video games seems like a fun. I don't have enough fun at my job back then. I was second year student, but I work as a how to say, system engineer. So we develop telemetry thing. We have our own hardware appliances with software for them, and this kind of solution for the banks or grocery store who would like to count how many people came through the front door, how long people at the counter process the purchase, whatever. So it's interesting thing on its own, but it wasn't fun.
Yeah, it sounds a little soul-sucking.
Yeah, exactly. And so I decided, why not to try? I'm in the end of the day, I'm just a student. I don't have any obligation of full-grown people, and so I switch, and I switch from the salary, which was 5 times higher.
Oh,
to yes, like literally 5 times less money I'm gonna get from this game dev gig. What it was like, I think about it back then, and now we're here 15 years later. During all these 15 years, I still working on video games in different roles in different companies. Some of the companies I even started and continue running till this day. And so it was, I couldn't quote Seth Wright. I just listened the episode with him, but he perfectly crystallized my thought about video games as an industry. It's not probably, it's for sure one and single environment where so much of different kind of people working together on a single product. I couldn't imagine in one place you have programmers and artists, musicians and lawyers, and I don't know who else, pretty much everything, people from tech side, people from art side, people from like probably the most boring stuff, like again, lawyers. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to anything, but
If any lawyers listening, we apologize. It's great that, you love it so much and you're so passionate about it. So can you tell me a bit more? I did a little bit of research on some of these studios that you started.
yeah. So after, I guess, 2 years working in Nival, I left to immediately go into my own adventure, and it wasn't founded as a like proper company, but together with two other guys also who work in Nival, we decided to develop our own small little game called Hit Them All. It's basically this whack-a-mole game where you have nine cells and mole gets up. So the simplest thing you could imagine. And since mobile just like starting to get big back then, it was during the probably iPhone 4S was the most new device on the market back then, and so we started with mobile game. We made it, we published it, and obviously because the game is so simple, yet I still like honestly proud of it. It wasn't like, I know, a prototype which you just glue a few parts together and push it on a Steam App Store, whatever. It was reasonably well-made game. It was super small, unbelievably small. Yet I'm still playing it sometimes, not because I actually want to play it, but because the mobile platforms they have their own opinion on how developers supposed to develop games, not just games, but pretty much everything. And it's not like they serving you, but more like you serving them with constant update, even if you don't need the constant update. Even though it's not like free-to-play title, you don't need to constantly push some content update. It's done, it's complete. And if you count all the time people spend on that, just like updates for the sake of updates, it's so many human hours essentially wasted. I mean, again, what you gonna do?
I know, that's I feel so old for this, but I miss the days when a game was just finished and done and it's out in the world and that's it, and you move on to the next thing.
Yeah. After that, I have a long streak of, it's probably opposite of the streak, because a streak is when you have something successful, and I have like a 3 or 4 project which didn't even release.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of trailers about games I was going to ask about that looked fun, but then I unfortunately saw that they didn't quite make it, like Chop Chop Guys, and the football game looked really fun.
Yes, that's these are the projects which we I believe it's much more valuable for pretty much everyone to know about this kind of stories.
Absolutely.
Where project didn't succeed, but at the same time it's hard to put into words, so they will be not demotivating for people, because there is always many reasons for game to be successful and even more reasons for game to be unsuccessful. And I mean, right now I tell like one story about why I think Offside Legends, our football game or soccer game,
Right.
and Project B and Chop Chop Guys wasn't released. Let's say so. But I think in 5 years or so, I probably realize something else and find another reason which is more deep, more, I don't know. Anyhow, I probably start from Chop Chop Guys because it's more recent story and not so dead, I would say. The idea which was brought to us by our investor, I would say, we intentionally called the game Chop Chop Guys to have some kind of relation to obviously Fall Guys and obviously Stumble Guys. And again, it was intentional, and I still not sure if it was a good idea because the game itself is still obviously really influenced by Fall Guys and Stumble Guys. And when you present something to people, no one actually knows what they want to. It's like we heard this like 1,000 times. Like if I ask what people want, they tell me they want a faster horse, something like that.
Yes, another one of my guests was saying this same phrase recently, but it's so true.
Exactly.
Nobody knows they wanted the car, but when there were horses.
Yes. And but at the same time, I mean, this is one part of, like, I believe, universal truth. But at the same time, people don't want to have absolutely the same thing. You don't want just a horse. We already have a horse, so why to bother? So you have to find right balance between something really new and something familiar. Because if you provide like 100% new concept, no one understands it, and it could be the most beautiful thing in the universe. But we live in a good time for such kind of games because Steam is so huge, and you, even for the most niche thing, you will find an audience. And thanks for the whole Steam team. I don't think people realize how important is the job of these people who actually doing this segmentation stuff. I don't know how to actually call it, but the front page of the Steam is different for every single one of us. And yes, and it's completely different. You have only few widgets which are like global feature, so-called, which are seen by pretty much everyone. Everything else, even like top sellers, they're different. Because they affected by the games you play, games your friends play, and how long they play it, how long you play it, and many what is on your wish list. There's so many parameters which are unique for you, and it doesn't make much sense to promote FIFA for you if you never ever played any sports game, for example. And this is part which allows small little games doing well on Steam, because there is people for pretty much everything, and it's just impossible to promote games about, I don't know, playing guitar on a storefront, which has limited spaces to promote different games, because you always intended to promote games which bring you most revenue. And it's also true for the Steam. But at the same time, if you segment this and segment this front page for different audiences, the total amount of revenue for Steam and for developers, I believe, is more than just like regular one page for everyone.
Yeah. I watched a really great YouTube video recently, and it was, well, it's a series of videos, but it's this one creator, and she goes through like the list of Steam games released on one particular day, like the day that she's making the video. And like a lot of it is, kind of like reused assets, like you were saying before, but a bunch of it also is, these creative, clever, unique games that aren't getting the coverage just because there is so much out there.
Yeah, I already say about that in the beginning, and this environment is beautiful and really harsh at the same time. But this harshness is part of the beauty, and video games are different, and that's like my kind of a drug.
Yeah. Like you said, it's addictive.
Indeed it is.
So when you were lucky enough to receive the funding from the government, which I'm very envious of because our government does not care about the arts, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, how did you sort of iterate on Final Sentence?
I'm sorry, I'm starting answering not to your actual question, but for this thing about governments, because I believe it's really important.
Oh, yeah.
And I get back to your question.
Of course.
I still believe it's more fair not to provide a grants to any kind of artists, even though we are desperate to having access to any kind of capital. The good idea has to survive on their own. They has to be born by needs of people, not by needs of artists themselves. And if the goal of government is to create environment where you could find an access to the capital, but not to provide the grants, because providing the grants, they have so many dark spots, so many like unclear who gets, why they gets it, and especially in terms of results. We live in Europe, and Europe promotes spend so many money on the grants for movies, for games not so much, but still. But yeah, I just like want to stress this point, because the fair competition is more fair than lack of it.
Yeah.
As for the let's get back to the Final Sentence. Developers usually, we never say that the project is completely closed, even though we all understand, yes, we never get back to it. We usually call it put on freeze, or we freeze it, something like that, put it on a pause. But to be honest, it's almost never happens that you grab it from your box and start working on it again. But this is exactly what happened with Final Sentence.
Oh.
Because Final Sentence was actually started back in 2023 as a internal game jam project. So we were working on Chop Chop Guys back then. We were really tired because not because of Chop Chop Guys, but because it was before Chop Chop Guys. We working on a project B, and before that on an Offsite Legends, and it was pretty much all same people, and we do it without proper vacation or pause or time for the rest. We just jump on another project and another, and yes, without any time for the reflection or having rest. So when game developer decide to have or to take rest, what do you do for your, I don't know, for your pleasure? We started working on another game, and but not like in terms, oh yeah, we're gonna do a proper big game. No, we just spent 1 week on a small little thing which seems fine and seems fun, both in terms of time spent, in terms of how we switch the context from our current project, and so on. So we developed a prototype of Final Sentence. It was called The End back then, and you still could see some signs of this. For example, the binary, the exe, how is it properly pronounced? I don't know.
exe, like the file.
Exe. Yeah. I just realized that I never say it in loud. So this file is called The End because the project in Unreal, it was started at the end as some kind of allusion or maybe allusion to this phrase which a writer usually finish their book. They blah, 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 the end.
Mm-hmm.
We spent 1 week on it. We didn't put it anywhere for public. We just made the last commit to the repository and switched back to Chop Chop Guys and continued developing Chop Chop Guys for another 1.5 years. Before, in the end of 2024, here in Lithuania, they opened accelerator called GameTech, GameTech, and they offered some amount of money to developers who gonna deliver either prototype of the video game or the full video game.
Wow.
It was like really small amount of money, especially for like full video game, because they have 2 breaks, one 40K and another 60K. So they offered 40K for the prototype and 60K for the full game. And for me, math don't sum up here, but 40K for the prototype seems kind of legit, especially for the small game like a Final Sentence and a small team. It's just like 3 of us. So we decided, guys, why didn't we try to apply with our prototype, which we made like 1.5 years ago for this accelerator? And if they accept us, we will have 40K and we could actually finish this game let's say we could actually finish this game.
Mm.
And this is example where something put on freeze like 1.5 years ago actually like almost like a phoenix get back, and now we have, I don't know, 200,000, 250,000 wish lists on Steam. And you never know, it's so I wouldn't say random, but there is at least, I don't know, 1/3 part of everything you do is depend on pure luck. and you have to have a great idea, 1/3. You have to do a really hard work, 1/3, and everything else is just luck. I know so many games which are so beautifully made.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
And you see them on Steam, like 14 reviews. Like, come on, guys, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
But what you're gonna do? There's so many games, and we only have limited amount of time, and we also want to spend it on our friends and family and YouTube and Netflix and books and many more things. Okay, where I was. For example, this 40K, it's obviously not enough to release the full games. We also find a publisher who provide us with additional funding, and it was like, well, my publisher is super open, is super transparent about all the numbers, so we get additional 50Ks from them, and still it's not huge amount, but this is amount that allows us to release the demo. And now, after the I'm not gonna do this air quote anymore because
yeah, people can't see it. This isn't video is not being recorded.
Sorry, I didn't realize that. Anyhow, after the demo of Final Sentence gets good amount of attention, we start working on new game mods and new features that wasn't in initial scope of this game. So it's another round of funding which required to develop something that wasn't part of initial plan. But as for the iteration, if we get back to your question, to the initial question, well, it was just like a regular work. We have so many features in our backlog. We like probably every single person who work on any kind of game. You have so many things that you actually want to do, so many nuances, so many small little details, which probably not so important in a bigger picture, but you want to do them, you want to add them. So it's just endless list. You prioritize it, like this will has the biggest impact on a player's experience. We work on it. We finish it, we get next and next and next. And right now, this list, let me see.
As of this recording,
it's 734 entries.
Wow.
And this is only thing that we actually put into our systems. There are so many things that we just have in our minds. We know them, but we didn't manage to put them in a like task tracker. So yeah, this is how we iterate.
And yeah, so as you were saying, no, the game really blew up and found its own life and has had hundreds of thousands of players and wish lists and everything. So what has that reception been like for you guys?
The one word which I could define our reaction on all of this is unexpected. It was really, really, really unexpected. It's multiplayer game. It's multiplayer game with dedicated servers. So it's in comparison to like average multiplayer game on Steam, we have probably the bigger infrastructure than we need, even than we need, and it wasn't enough for such amount of people. We didn't expect so much attention to the game, so we didn't plan our infrastructure.
Sure.
And like first week after release, I spent on the pretty much on the AWS console, just like increasing amount of servers every single like 5 minutes when we get down. Come on, we need more.
Wow.
And yeah.
Yeah, that was my biggest when I, was looking up the game. Is like, wow, how are you as a small team being able to maintain such an enormous player base at once?
It's also we lucky that we're living in 2025 because if we started something like that 10 years ago, it basically it wouldn't be possible to manage that by 3 people. You don't have like clouds, even though I don't really into this stuff, and you don't have Unreal Engine at the current stage. You don't have Steam. You don't have so many things just 10 years ago. And oh yeah, we definitely have Steam 10 years ago. But
Yeah, that's true. It's been around for like 20 years now, practically.
Oh yeah, feel like old enough to forget some stuff. Yeah, like all these memes where the car you think was 20 years ago,
Yes,
and actual car you have 20 years
2
ago.
years ago.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
So how did you kind of balance the fun of a battle royale type game with the fear and stakes of Russian roulette and a horror game?
Oh well, again, I pronounced this word too many times, but we are probably too lucky in this place as well, because some part of influence on design of Final Sentence was not from other video games or media. It was from sites like Type Racer or Monkey Type, basically websites where you actually type for fun and forget some stats. And because of all these sites, all these platforms, they they don't punish you for the mistakes. And I remember when I learned touch typing again many years ago, it was the most brutal video game, not a video game, but touch typing trainer program. I believe you in the US you have kind of analog like Miles Davis. Something like that. There is a woman.
Yes, Mavis Beacon. Yes, that's what it was.
Mavis Beacon. Yes. And from this trainer program, I remember that they punish me for the mistakes a lot because you get much better at typing when you doing it carefully, not like as fast as you can, but actually carefully. So you don't need to backspace all the time, and you don't need to think a lot of your fingers will remember the position, the places of buttons when you don't speed up. And the only way to teach people that is to actually punish them for mistakes.
Yeah.
And as you probably see in the Final Sentence, the punishment is unbelievably huge for the video game.
Oh yeah.
And this is the part where I'm not even sure that Final Sentence you could call it video game, because it's something weird. It's something between this keyboard training program, some kind of weird competition, and yes, video games. And that's probably the recipe why it's gets some attention. But as for the balance, as for your question, we didn't balance it actually. The reason why it gets so much attention is exactly because of this harsh punishment. And because of it, people who stream the game on Twitch or who made the TikToks, they get real emotion. They
Yeah.
actually frustrated, and they frustrated so much, they get so angry, and you see their faces, and when you see their faces, you're like, probably I wanted to try it, and the demo is available, so, and this is like a snowball effect, something like that. But as for the actual balance, we ask people to fill some survey form, some crazy long survey form. But thanks for everyone who made it. It's like we get 20,000 of it of this form only in English, and probably 20,000 more in rest of the languages. Anyone notice, or not notice, highlight that the complexity of the game is the weakest point. All the points is like 5 out of 5, like some 4 out of 5, but difficulty, yeah, that's right term, is 3. And this is the sign that it's not actually balanced really well, but it works for us really well on streams. So as for the balance, we continue working on that, and we hopefully deliver a new game mode, which will be something else in terms of how we process mistakes, typing mistakes.
Yeah, no. I'm very excited to see all of the different features and modes and things when the final release comes.
Me too. Yeah, it's.
And
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, please.
One of the other things I like about the game is sort of the feature with the voice chat, where people who are playing around you can mess with you and try and distract you. So how was that put in?
It wasn't planned. And I was kinda against adding this feature. It was added like just a week before the demo release by request from our publisher. And well, it's definitely a fun thing, and I'm happy that we implemented it. And but it's like, there is like some aesthetic in the game, and you start adding, let's say, skins for your rifles, and people get crazy about the skins. You get like bright green skins, something self-illuminating, some kind of clown mask, and all this stuff which you add to the game. It's drifting your initial coherent vision of how the game should supposed to be to some kind of like random mess.
Sure.
And the voice chat, well, it was my how would say, I was suspicious about it. It was like, I was afraid that we will add it and it will transform game into some kind of what is the term for modern genre, a friend slope?
Oh, yeah.
But in the end of the day, again, I started our conversation with this word, and probably near to the finish we will finish with it. But all we do is for fun. And if you add something and it's fun for people, then it's right thing to do. Because we often forget that video games is all about fun.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Absolutely. No, I think fun is the highest priority, but I mean, obviously having like a clear and coherent vision for the game is important too.
Yeah. That's like prerequisite or something you like understand or mean by default. I mean, like coherent product, coherent piece.
Yeah. So I had two more questions. And one was if you could tell me a little bit more about Dicewood, because I'm interested in this project and I haven't heard much about it.
Oh, well, Dicewood is kind of side gig. It's not my project. I somehow involved in video game industry at every single place where I live, and right now even like broader, let's say so. So when I find something interesting, and I believe this something has potential, and the people who working on it are interesting and also has potential, I just offer my like help to them. And Dicewood is this example. This is not the game where I actively working on. I just help the talented team behind the guy who is known under nickname XK. He started this project also on Ludum Dare Game Jam, also in the beginning of, or in the end of last year, 2024, and the game, the prototype, also start getting some attention from the guy working, not working, the guy doing this Ludum Dare Game Jam like for 12 years.
Wow.
And he didn't miss, I won't say he didn't miss a single one, but he actually missed a couple. Still, considering that you have like a 3 Ludum Dares Game Jam every single year, and doing that 12 years in a row, it's something. It's telling you something about this person.
It's like you said before about building a skill.
Yes, exactly. This is the thing. This is the motivation which you want to see in a people with whom you want to work with. And since I know of a friend of him, and I know that guys are looking for publisher, and like I just like came to them, hey guys, I will find you a publisher. I could do this for you, and that, and that, and that, and we're gonna do that this way. If it's not happening this way, if not, like basically, I know probably some kind of producer role, but I'm not actually doing any producing stuff there. I only, with my own hands, I implement them a localization like stuff, and not even 100%, but like most of it, and bring them, again, the publisher, and helping them with all the business stuff, because besides my programming, and I'm still telling everyone that I'm programmer, and yes, I'm program every single day, but most of the day I talk to people, I'm writing emails, and talking and doing business stuff, and well,
producer stuff.
so on. Yes, and that's kind of my role on Dicewood. It's just you obviously see I'm doing tweets about Dicewood. That's again my role and my relation. I'm not like 100% involved in this project. It's more I don't want to say side gig, because gig has this like connotation that
Yeah,
this
it
is
does.
temporary, this is not important, and I'm considering everything I'm doing important. But while final sentence is think I'm working like 120% on during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of 16% I'm doing on dice wood, and the math is actually correct here. It's not like I don't know that you only have 100% during the day. You actually have more, much more.
If you think so.
Yeah.
So this is the Pixel Pizza podcast. I have to ask, Dmitry Minsky, where is your favorite pizza place?
Pretty much everywhere. I mean, I only remember a few places from several hundred places where I have pizza and didn't like it. So I enjoy pizza in every form, in every place, And here in Vilnius, where I'm right now, we have so many deliciously made pizzas that it's really hard to choose one. So I eat every kind of pizza, every size, every form, everywhere.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. So thank you so much for joining me today, Dmitry.
Thanks for having me, Jared.
So where can people keep track of you and your work?
Probably I'm most actively on Twitter. I don't do much posting on LinkedIn, but you definitely could send me a request. I on LinkedIn every single day, but mostly in like private messages. So yeah, and you'll find me under Dmitry Minsky in both places.
Great. Okay, then I will have those in the description. And now we are going to hear from our chiptune artist of the week, Baychimo. And that track coming up is called Snowy Peaks. So enjoy that one, and we'll see you next week with a new Pixel Pizza.